The coastline between Åhus and Stenshuvud in East Skåne, southern Sweden. The heart of the Bight of Hanö, harborless. 40 kilometers of continuous sandy beaches attract summer guests, but it is the eel fishing that has shaped the character of the coast. Here, the eel fishermen's huts, boats, and racks for drying eel pound nets still play a vital role. There are 60 fishing huts along the coast, 30 of them still in use. The huts bear fanciful names: the Castle, Smuggler's Hut, Cuckoo Hut, Twin Huts. These huts and the fishermen involved in eel fishing are a cultural heritage. Fishermen along the Eel Coast use eel pound nets that can be several hundred meters long. Anchored with iron grapnels, the pound nets follow the contours of the seabed. The nets are set or placed in July and August and are emptied regularly throughout the 3-month season. In November, the nets are pulled up and landed. The fishermen knit and repair their own pound nets, a genuine craftsmanship that is passed down from generation to generation. The eel boats, more often than not a plastic reproduction of the older wooden boats that were constructed by hand, are designed to carry 1 to 3 fishermen and are suited to the sandy harborless beaches. Centuries of development have resulted in outboard motors, nylon nets, and tractors instead of manpower or horses. Following the Treaty of Roskilde in 1658, when Denmark was forced to cede the southern coast of Skåne to Sweden, the Swedish king divided the eel fishing properties between the nobility and the church. Each property, called a dræt, was a thin strip of beach a few hundred meters long, and though they are mostly water, are still taxable properties. The Eel Coast is divided into 140 of these dræts, or fishing properties, some still owned by the Skånska states. Only professional fishermen who own or lease an eel dræt, and who have an eel fishing license issued by the authorities, have the right to fish eel here. This form of ownership and fishing rights is unique for the Eel Coast. Eel fishing along the Eel Coast is unique. The foundation for the Eel Coast eel fishing as a World Heritage is working towards a future immaterial cultural heritage, a World Heritage in accordance to UNESCO regulations. An immaterial cultural heritage is dependent on people who can pass on their knowledge and skills from generation to generation. The Eel Coast eel fishing is a future World Heritage and is a part of the Kristianstad Vattenrika Biosphere Reserve, approved by UNESCO. The eel has always been an enigmatic fish, and though we are beginning to understand more about them, there is much that remains a mystery. Between July and December, the silver eel migrates away from our coast, heading towards the Sargasso Sea near Florida, where it will spawn. Their backs have turned dark and their bellies are white. Driven by hormones, they will swim over 7,000 kilometers. Eel feasts date back to the days when eel fishermen paid their lease to the property owners in eels, a custom that in some cases was still in effect as late as 1974. The eel feasts, a part of the Eel Coast culture, attract tourists from all over the world. At the feast, eel, and only eel, is served, but it is served in many different forms: smoked, boiled, fried, grilled, salted, pickled, eel soup, and much more.
Och sjunga åla fiska svans. Det var en gång vi skulle ut och fiska ål med en båt av trä i stål. Vi hade lagat och mannen var utan hål. 100 kilo var vårt mål. Men nästa dag när vi kom ut fanns ingen hål. När nästan ingen